Hey everyone, Jason Bennett, Comics Bodega, and yes, I fell asleep at a frat party once and woke up with more clothes on. We're back with another episode of Just Kicking It, our Kickstarter spotlight, talking about all the great things that are going on the crowdfunding platform. Today I'm bringing back some guests that I had from a few years ago, E.B. Kogan and Jessica Silvetti, part two of their fantasy horror Shockheaded Peter. Check out the Kickstarter campaign right now by going to shockheaded2, the number 2.com, and that will take you. You'll do the whole link thing, bounce around, and boom, gets you to the Kickstarter page. Not really bounce around, but you know what I mean. You need to check this out. This thing's beautiful. It's written just, it's superb. You're going to love it top to bottom. And I can't wait to share with you our conversation. So let's jump into it. So it's Jason Bennett, and we're here with Just Kicking It, our Kickstarter Spotlight. And today I am joined by returning guests, E.B. Kogan and Jessica Silvetti, the award-winning visionary filmmaking duo who successfully funded part one of their three-part graphic novel, Shockheaded Peter, a cross between Labyrinth and Nightmare on Elm Street. E.B. Kogan's latest horror mystery, In Our Blood, is set to hit theaters this October, this month, Halloween, perfect timing for horror, via Utopia, where he serves as an associate producer. Jessica Silvetti has worked as a writer and creator on the final two seasons of the global comedy drama or dramedy, I don't know if they still use that word, phenomenon, Juego de las Llaves. I hope I pronounced that right or close. She has
Great.
since wrapped up two seasons on an untitled international crime drama series. But today we're talking about the second of the three-part installment of Shockheaded Peter. Please welcome the creators and writers for Shockheaded Peter's parts one and two, E.B. Kogan and Jessica Silvetti. E.B., Jess, welcome again.
Having us on again.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for coming back. I don't always get, the second opportunities. Well, usually that's with dating, but um, so yeah, I know it. Yeah. Shockhead Peter Part Two unleashes fantastical nightmares. Um, so just real brief to the viewers, this is a reimagining of a story published in 1845. It's a cautionary tale of the harbinger of punishment and a teenage girl disturbed by her desire to join his crusade. Uh, Part two is coming out of the horror fantasy graphic novel. For anyone new to this, who are you really trying to reach out to here? Because there's really a lot. Because I've seen it, like I'm looking over the press release and things like that. It says that it's aimed at readers who crave stories that are as beautifully emotional as they are brutal. And you also have horror, fantasy. Tim Burton fans, but also kind of like cat and mouse thrillers. It's kind of a really, it's really kind of growing from kind of what I remember. So, I mean, is that, what's your audience look like for your graphic novel?
I mean, it's kind of, you know, since the first one, and since us being kind of new to this when we started it, and I still say we're kind of new to this because
Yeah.
this is really our first and only project to date in the comics and graphic novel world. But it's from our vantage point, it does kind of seem all over the spectrum, and we haven't really honed in on a specific niche audience. We've gotten responses from older audience, younger kids, adults
I
alike.
wouldn't say younger, like little kids, more like,
No,
young adult, like
young
teenage.
teens and
And
up.
yeah, because I'd say it's like
Sure.
definitely PG-13, like
Yeah, a
YA
hard
and
PG-13
adult.
is
Yeah.
the rating that we kind
Yeah.
of feel it is. It's
Okay.
I think I once kind of pitched it as it's like the horror multiversal version of a Harry Potter book, in a way.
Okay.
If that can kind of conjure up any sort of idea of an audience, because it's not like a torture porn slash and
No.
gore horror, right? Um,
Right.
but there is kind of a creature.
Yeah, definitely. And there are some gruesome aspects, but it has a lot of heart. And we're character
Yes,
driven. So
always.
we definitely our characters are multi-layered, three-dimensional, and they're complex. Even the ones that you think, oh, this is a villain. Like we definitely give a story to them.
Even our creatures, you might say, get
Mhm.
depth and complexity. So I think, as you know, we don't necessarily in this book follow the trajectory of the, you know, weekly 22-page floppy, where we're introducing multiple storylines. We do have a big arc
Yeah.
going through, maybe kind of a la, to kind of bastardize the structure, maybe like a Stranger Things type vibe, where it's like going through the whole season. It's not necessarily episodic. And
Yeah.
so part one was a setup of the world of the characters.
Our hero and heroine, like our protagonist, definitely we delve into the world, really get
Yeah.
to know this whole setup and our protagonist.
And part two, we get deep into it, the mythology, more into the complexity of the characters and the history and all that.
And yeah, in this book, like I said, it's a three-part graphic novel, so this is really going to be a big core of it, where it's, you know, I would imagine that fans could expect a little more building upon, you know, a little more character development from what we got from issue one, as well as really laying, you know, making sure that groundwork's set for this third one. Because like when we spoke on our last one, our last interview for part one, which is, can't believe it's been like 3 years. Uh, when we spoke about that, you said you had all this planned out. You had this story going on, and I see that it's still a 3 point story. And Giuseppe's coming back too.
Oh
Of
yeah.
course, we
So
couldn't do.
wonderful. And that was a concern. One of the first things I wondered, I looked for, because, you know, after a few years, you know, maybe he's got another gig. He's tied up with something, or, you know, so glad to see he's back, because if people look at the campaign, it's just beautiful to look at. I mean, I just love it. And just, even though it's been that 3 years, it immediately brought me back and got me excited for, all right, what's next?
Yeah, no, we love working with Joe. He likes us to call him Joe, Giuseppe.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's fantastic. And again, it's a team effort. It's like we, as you said, you know, with our first one, it was our first time working together, but it's worked really nicely and it's a collaboration.
Yeah, and his
Sure.
artwork is only getting deeper and more detailed. And you know, he does have these awesome signature style and bits that he does in his hand, because he does everything. His hand drawn lettering, which just kind of looks like a charcoal pencil was scraped across,
For
and
like our sound effects.
paint splatter all over. And but you know, sometimes he'll leave stuff in the background less detailed to give you
Like,
depth of
yeah,
focus.
depth of field.
You know, because he's like our cinematographer when you're melding
Okay.
your film and your comic worlds.
Right.
But he redid the cover. We rebranded the cover for part one because we're reprinting it as a revised edition. We added a couple panels and changed some dialogue. But like the cover that he redid, it's the same split faces
Yeah.
for part one, but it's so much creepier. And anyway, I'm just praising him.
Yeah, and part of that is, as you know, we were talking about what for book two, as we delve further into the characters and into the world and into the mythology, it gets darker, and also the art really supports that. So in that way, it's obviously still Giuseppe's art, but it kind of supports that and grows and gets darker in that sense too. It like matures with the story.
To cut me off if you want to, because I could talk about this
No,
forever.
keep going.
Go off on what she was saying about how we started off with this kind of like
More
childlike fantasy sort of thing, where some people will look at it and be like, "Oh, this is a kid's book."
Yeah.
And we had talked to Joe about, since we were splitting it up in three parts, it'll just get darker and darker, because in not just the writing, but we want to show that in the imagery as well.
With the evolution of our character, of our protagonist, and of Peter, you know, there's also an evolution in the artwork. Right. It works together.
Right. And I wanted to bring up a reference that I talked about this with someone else, which I messed up the name of the graphic novel. It's called Beautiful Darkness. I think it's a French graphic novel. It's only about 100 pages, but it is about these little sprites in the forest, and it looks so kiddie, and they're like, oh my God, oh my God. And then it turns out they're living inside a dead body that was abandoned in the forest.
Hey, oh, wow.
But it's still, they're still like all like sprightly. it's that idea that contrasting of the innocent imagery with the darker themes.
Have you guys heard of something recent? It just came to mind. It's a really popular series that kind of took off. I think it's on a second volume. Um, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees.
Oh,
Yeah.
It looks like it's a Winnie the Pooh book,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's, from my understanding, I haven't read it yet, but it's a lot darker, more violent, and it's so just on its face, it looks like, yeah, this looks like something for my 9-year-old. But then you open it, you're like, yeah, just terrified.
Yeah, you're
Um,
like, I better not give it to my 9-year-old, at
I
least without parental.
Probably not. Not the best Christmas gift.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
cover. Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay, yeah, they've gone on to like a second volume. I think it added, a line of four or five words to differentiate from the first volume. Um, hey, and you mentioned the pages for that book. Part one, if I remember right, was about 58 pages or so.
Ended up being 60 because we did this kind of like uh celebrating the backers by doing a word
Oh,
image
sure, sure.
Yeah.
into Peter and Ruby's face, everybody who backed the book. So 60 if you include those.
Yeah, but this one
Okay.
we're gonna do 100. This one's gonna be 108.
Oh,
So
wow. So
Yeah.
it's practically double what the last.
Yeah.
almost,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a
Wow.
big book.
Okay, that's a huge jump. Wow, that's impressive. I heard there's a part two trailer on the way too. Is that going to be what's incorporated in the Kickstarter video, or is that separate for like a social media push?
Both, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um we're it's on
It's already in social
it's
media.
on social media. We just dropped it.
Yeah.
And for the Kickstarter, we're actually putting together, us and Joe kind of did our own little personal hello, and we kind of I'm actually putting that together right now, so that'll be on the end of the trailer for the Kickstarter.
Yeah, so you'll see both on the Kickstarter.
That's wonderful.
We froze for a second.
Yeah, and we definitely want everyone to. By this time in the video, I'm sure it's already been flashed up on the screen, your social media handle, so they can follow you. But we definitely want people to follow you both online, check out what you have going on. But like Evie, I see your stuff almost every day, whether you're commenting on people say, hey, if you have a campaign coming up, or like today I saw one that was a graphic with like extras and things that are going to be available during this campaign, like limited edition pins, some more custom tickets that are like serial numbers on, limited,
Yeah.
trading cards again.
Yeah.
And you mentioned signed bundles. What can people look forward to above and beyond just part two and the book itself?
Well, so yeah, first and foremost, a big, awesome book.
Yeah.
108 pages.
Yeah.
Doing the main cover that Joe did you'll see when the Kickstarter launches.
Yeah, we'll reveal it on the page.
This is awesome, cool cover.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like a wraparound or a mirrored. And then we have one variant cover by an artist we work with that did our kind of goth shock-headed Peter cover for part one. He did the same thing for Ruby on this one that is kind of on the preview, Santiago Espina. So that'll be the variant cover.
Is that the sketch one that I'd seen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
It's amazing. So like I said, we have some pins, enamel pins, a really big 2-inch one.
Oh, wow.
Which we're excited about, which came out pretty awesome. The same one from Peter's face that we still have.
Yeah, that was part one. So now this time,
right?
If you got Peter last time, you can get Ruby this time, and you can also have both this time. The trading card,
our garbage pail style trading card set is expanding with a fourth one that has like a raised UV print on it.
Yeah,
and
it's like a premium card.
Yeah, we're also incorporating draw me in tiers like we did last time. There's about maybe 4 spots where you're going to be able to get into just like a panel here and there. And then we're adding 2 other spots where you'll be able to completely replace a character that we've written in part 2.
So you'll have lines, which wasn't available the first campaign. So this campaign, you can get a spot with a featured line.
So you'll have like at least a full page interaction of yourself with either Ruby or Peter.
Wow.
And then you can buy real estate for your business in Winding Springs, which someone took us up on last time, which was fun.
And it lives there because until Winding Springs is there, like your business is in Winding Springs.
Wow, that's great.
We're still talking about we'll do some custom punishments. We'll see that. You can check the Kickstarter if it's there. But something that's really cool, we just got this one of one item. We worked with this stop motion animation studio to create a one of a kind posable prosthetic hand of Shockheaded Peter's hand, full on with tattoo and the black nails, and it's a little display case. It will be available as a tier, one of a kind tier, and you can have that only collectible. I don't imagine we'll be doing that again unless we can find someone to make Ruby's watch monitor.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing we might do for part 3.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that how this go around, you're offering something that you didn't have last time. And something I had mentioned here, or I had written down in my notes, was to ask you if, was there anything you learned from that first book's campaign, whether it was promoting, offering certain tiers, maybe things you learned in social media engagement, things that worked or whatever that you've applied to or feel you'll be more successful now with the second book?
Well, we definitely learned a lot that we're trying to incorporate this time, but one of the things we were told is that the second campaign is kind of one of the roughest ones, so we try to anticipate and start earlier, but even at that we think, like, I don't know, maybe we should start it even earlier, but doing these signings at the same time, trying to engage as much as possible in real time. And I think that's one thing, and trying to reincorporate some tiers that were popular and bringing in some new things.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, I think it will remain to be seen how much we quote unquote learned until the campaign closes to see if what we've done actually worked. We definitely, because last time, if I'm recalling, I think we had very little, we were inexperienced.
Yeah.
We had very little ramp up. I think we just like sent out a couple emails and we just click launch. I
mean, well, we prepped the campaign and all, but in terms of like telling people and letting people know beforehand, it wasn't as wide as now. So
we didn't have a pre-launch page last time.
We didn't do a pre-launch, which is something new this time that was something recommended. So we're trying to take from the people that come before us that know a lot more. We're still learning, we're still taking advice and suggestions from people, and hoping people will embrace us as much as last time, and that our audience will continue to grow in our readership, because so we want to deliver something that people love.
Sure. And and even though it's the second part, and typically there is a little bit of drop off. I mean, you see it in floppy sales too. Even like comic book reviewers, comic book reporting sites, a lot of people will review issue 1, but then sales drop off at issue 2, reviews drop off at issue 2. It's how does it get going? But with the team back, you seem to be publicizing it well, and now at 108 pages, I mean, that alone has me curious and want me to jump all over this. Plus all the exclusive and the fun things you have in there. You guys, I followed it like the moment I saw that part 2 was coming out, and I hope this really just blows up and takes off, and you have a even better. So people know, definitely go check out Shockheaded, the number 2, shockheaded2.com, and that'll take you to the campaign. If you missed the first one, they have you covered. EB and Jessica got you with issue 1. You mentioned a couple of things from the first campaign that will still be available.
One, the new colorway for that, obviously the new cover for part 2 that Joe's doing, and some of those, like the tickets and the pins, So those things and the old trading cards, those people will be able to catch up on. And then for the new ones, as we mentioned, the premium cards and new pins and all these other tiers. So we're excited. We hope people will be as well.
Yeah, I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck. I think this is going to be great. You picked a great time of year. Who doesn't want to see some horror and fantasy in October and into the chilly and dark months. So definitely I want everyone to go over, check out shockheaded2.com and pick up Shockheaded Peter Part Two. Pick up Part One if you haven't got it. You're gonna want it, and just take a look at the preview. The preview alone should sell you on it. Not to mention all the other available add-ons, the special tiers they have, and just the incredible writing and illustrations throughout. Overall, it's just a beautiful piece, and hope everyone jumps on this and we'll figure out something we could do. Maybe comic book day can work out some sort of giveaway towards the end, and we'll do a little, see if we can do a little spike for last minute buyer backers to your campaign before the campaign ends or something to we'll figure something out. We'll talk off camera.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, definitely. And yeah, best of luck to you. And you keep making them, we'll keep reading them.
Sounds good. We love that. Thank you.
Love it.